Hello, good afternoon. It all ends this week. The parties are wrapping up their campaigns in readiness for Judgment Day, Friday, December 7. Ghanaians will deliver a verdict choosing one of 8 presidential candidates. Today on Your Election Headquarters, we check the readiness of the Electoral Commission for Friday's poll. I'm sure you know by now that with a little under 96 hours to go, the EC is now registering prospective voters in 4 electoral areas in the Katsina-Nankana East District of the Upper East region. We'll be live in the district. We will do all that on the back of a pre-election monitoring report released by the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers that both highlights the tension in the country and the EC's preparedness. We're live from the Multi-TV studios and also live on radio at Joy 99.7 FM. Together, we are your election headquarters. We'll be back with the details. You're live on Joy 99.7 FM and live on the Joy News channel on Multi-TV. This is your election headquarters. This afternoon, we are also live on Love FM in Kumasi, and the program is brought to you by Infobox Mobile Services. Text election or joy to 1922 for more. Each SMS costs 10 pesos. Be the first to know it all, the issues, the promises, policies, results, and more from the Joy Election Headquarters. My name is Araba Kumson. It points to heightened tension and acts that can foment trouble on election day, including the defacing of party posters by political opponents. I'm talking about the latest CODEO pre-election monitoring report. I'm joined on the line now for more on this by Sheikh Aremeyao Shaibu, Advisory Board Member of CODEO. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you very much.
Now, you mentioned in your report that your field officers reports of heightened tension. What is accounting for that?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon to your listeners. Definitely, we are all witnesses to the signing of a peace accord in Kumasi just a couple of weeks ago. And just immediately following that, we heard what happened in Kumasi. And so, therefore, it gives us cause to feel that the situation is getting even more tense, especially in the context where different political parties are intensifying their last-minute campaigns. And so, therefore, that is what actually has given us the sense to say that there is tension. Though it is peaceful in the country, but one can feel that there's tension.
All right, Sheikh.
Yeah, and another example I can set for you is that the recent incident where a radio, a panel member on a radio station was confronted by members of a political party, ostensibly just to also attack because of a comment that has been made. And all these things are indicators that there is some tension in the country.
But in spite of the heightened tension that you speak of, you also indicate that the atmosphere remains largely peaceful. Do you find enough evidence to convince you that that peaceful atmosphere will hold on Friday and beyond?
Yes, that is the paradox, because once you mention a situation of tension, then you also cannot even say that there is peace. But generally, when you ordinarily observe the country, once we have not seen any, serious clashes within people have not been seriously intimidated, and campaigns are going on without necessarily any confrontation. And so there's certainly calm in the country that gives us a sense that there is generally a peaceful atmosphere that can be maintained. But that is a responsibility if we have to do so. Like we observed, the signing of the accord in itself is not what can lead us to peace completely. But the peace itself is a condition that comes when we have satisfied certain requirements or certain preconditions. Those conditions have to do with, one, our own behavior as prospective voters, and then the flag bearers and how they handle themselves and what message they put out there so as to influence the behavior of their supporters. We are also sure that once the police is prepared also to deal its work with professionalism and impartiality, and in the way that we have been assured, we think that if that is maintained, if they carry out their duty from now unto the time of the election, then we can be assured that we will have a very peaceful election on the 7th of December and even beyond. And I think that that's what we should all work out for.
All right, Sheikh. Now let's talk about the EC. Your field officers also closely monitored the EC's work on the ground in preparing for Friday. What's your observation as far as the EC's preparedness is concerned?
Yeah, as far as we are concerned, we have observed that the EC has been undergoing so much serious training of its staff. At least we are even told that that is the reason for which the Electoral Commission members could not attend the Kumasi Declaration events. We have also observed and been informed about the EC's distribution of the ballot papers, which are ongoing. And so therefore that's part of the preparation. Machines, equipment for the biometric voting has also been put together, and that's why we have in our earlier report requested the EC to ensure that so much backup is provided to ensure that in the event that the weather affects the machines, then there will be no problem. And I think that what we said was in itself a signal to the EC, and we believe that the EC listens to CODEO very well and other election observation groups, and we believe that the EC is doing so much to ensure that everything is on course.
What about CODEO itself? I'm pretty sure you'll be deploying observers across the country.
Yes, I mean, like we have mentioned earlier on, we are deploying 4,000 election observation, among which there are those that we call the rapid response observers. We have deployed, trained them, and they are ready to start their action. We've already set up also our information center at the Kofi Annan Peacekeeping Center, where we shall be receiving information that has to do with the setting up of the polling stations, arrival of materials, incidents that will take place during the election, the process of election itself, whether there is any intimidation, whether there is any fear. All these things we have trained our people who will be able to send us reports immediately as they happen, so that we can make a report on them. That is, in the morning of the election day, giving situational report. We will give situational report as to what is happening at the start of polling, and then the midday information will also come to us. All these things will come through what we call the rapid response observers, who will send us clear and factual information through text messaging. All this we have done. Our observers have also, we have tried to secure our accreditation from the EC to permit us to also be in the polling stations to do our observation. So as I speak to you now, we are wrapping up the last minute preparations to be able to stand up to the challenges on Friday. Come Friday, we'll be able to do it, God willing.
All right, thank you very much for your time. That's Sheikh Aremia. He's a member of the board for Election Observer Group, CODEO. You're still here on Election Headquarters. Well, with less than 96 hours to go for the Electoral Commission, because the Electoral Commission has been forced to register residents in 4 electoral areas in the Kassena-Nankana East District of the Upper East Region. As I speak, that exercise is underway there. Shortly, we'll go live on the phone lines to speak to our correspondent, Albert Sore, and soon thereafter, we will be speaking to the EC's PRO, Sylvia Ano, for their preparedness for Friday's exercise. We're taking a short break. We'll be right back.